I'm excited about this because, we met in a very unique way, and you had some really specific health concerns that were going on. And I got to tell you, you have followed our recommendations. You have done the work. Even though you had times when you were away from our practice in our office, you continued to do your work. And I've been really excited about how your health has changed, your health condition has changed, and the trajectory that you're on.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to congratulate you, Susan. Our team realized all that work that you did, and they awarded you Patient of the Month.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. So I always like to start with, do you remember when you got started with our practice or became a practice member?
I do remember when. I think it was, I think I said over a year now, but it's been just about a year because I think it was in February, January or February. I had a severe bout of vertigo. And I had only had vertigo once before in my life, but it was within the previous year. So when I encountered it the first time, I was living in California, and I, reached out to anybody that could help, which was just like I reached out to my community of friends and neighbors and colleagues, and everybody had a story about vertigo. And I sort of endured it for 3 days. It was awful. Did a couple maneuvers, and it was helpful. And then, not quite a year, maybe 9 months later was when I had it last year and came to see you. And I had it for 2 days, tried the maneuvers that I had done the previous time. Nothing was really relieving it. Ended up, and we had just moved here. We were still like new in town, pandemic, hadn't even met neighbors, and just posted on Nextdoor and was like, anybody have any recommendations for somebody to see or any maneuvers that worked for you? And you replied right away. Like it was a Monday morning, I remember, and I don't know if it was 8 o'clock in the morning or something, but I posted my desire for help, and you responded right away, and you were like, we've helped many people with vertigo. Please come on in. Yes, you can come today. And I was like, I am there. So my husband drove me, and I sat with you in the consultation room or the one of the rooms, and you gave me another maneuver, another sort of thing to do that was very helpful immediately. I was still like, not 100%, but the major spinning sensation had dissipated. Just in speaking with you, you had mentioned coming back the next day. Do these things at home throughout the day. Just keep doing it as it helps and relieves the symptoms. And I came back the next day, and we sort of started a conversation around chiropractic care and alignment of the vertebra in my neck. And so yeah, that's kind of like where it started.
It totally is. For those of you wondering the maneuver I went over with Susan, I'm going to go ahead and post a link up here that winds up taking you right to the link. It's a semicircling maneuver that many people have found success with. Yeah, and during that conversation, we looked to try to understand, were there any structural deviations that were contributing to this? Because what we've seen in many of our cases that when the cervical spine, particularly the neck, is off, it winds up affecting the balance centers of the brain that can cause you to develop and move into a vertigo spin. And that's where you were.
Mm-hmm. And I do recall what I had been experiencing in the 5 to 6 months before this vertigo bout happened was just major stiffness in my neck, because I had just gone through a major transition of moving across the country and other stresses of the pandemic, and I was just extremely stiff in my neck. And just I kind of specifically recall a few nights in a row of just like twisting and turning and flipping my neck quickly to kind of relieve this pressure. It just kind of felt like pressure in my neck. But mostly in my sleep, I would just kind of like wake up so stiff and uncomfortable and kind of flip my head to the other side. And I'm sure that's like what contributed to the, crystals in my ear being dislodged or whatever.
Yeah, and it probably was warning signs that things weren't right.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times our body does give us warnings before it does knock us out. How long did it take before you were stable and out of, I'll call it the spinning episodes?
Probably 2 days.
Super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then once we got out of the spinning episodes, we realized that it was important to address the foundational four places that contribute to vertigo. Those are being the ears, which most people pay attention to, the eyes, the jaw, as well as the upper cervical spine. And how was the work that we did in looking to manage and balance those areas?
Good. Yeah, I mean, I was excited to come. I was coming every other day for a few weeks. I can't remember how long that lasted, but I was excited to come and just like feel better, you know. Um, and you asked about how long did it take for the spinning to leave. I think that was sooner. I just feel like the other effects of like that whole, you know, previous weekend was like nauseousness and just weakness and tired, and that probably took about 2 days to kind of, you know, wipe that out of my system. But the spinning probably was in that day that I wasn't spinning anymore.
That's pretty amazing. Now, what were the other things? Well, what was the experience like? Have you ever had an experience when you had come to the office, or what were your expectations, or what was your first impression when you came to the office?
It was calm and welcoming, quiet, certainly. I'm sure partially related to being in a pandemic and everybody still being a bit shut down, but professional. I mean, I remember Amy greeted me, you know, very cheerfully at the desk, and yeah, I mean, it was you guys were very clear with like, this is what we'll be doing. First, we'll do these exercises, then we'll, you know, go to the stem room, then we'll do an adjustment. So as far as like what the plan was in those initial weeks, it was, you know, clear and it's good, positive.
Now, I've got to ask, what changes have you noticed in your life since we've been working together?
Well, I'm definitely more conscious of my health and my body and my state from day to day. I still get some stiffness, which I definitely, you know, acknowledge in the moment that something's off and I need to tend to it. So just like self-awareness, I would say is the biggest change of, and I've always been like, you know, yes, very much get up and go, very much I move around quickly. You know, I'm a quick walker and I bustle around the house and, you know, I like to be on the move and productive. But I also, you know, I have the spiritual side that I'm very like aware of like meditation and self-care and, you know, that kind of thing. I always kind of I have put myself in the schedule as far as exercising, but this was like a different kind of awareness of, you know, sort of what's going on inside and, you know, what patterns or what routines I have been in that don't lend themselves to, you know, alignment internally.
And have you been able to modify those routines to include it?
Yeah, slow going, but yeah.
Awesome. What would you tell to anyone who is going through an experience like you did? Like if you were to see on Nextdoor someone saying those things that you posted a year ago, what would you tell them to do?
I would say see a chiropractor, which I would not have initially thought was like the person you need to see. Like I had, you know, when I posted that and you responded right away and I saw you that day, for the next 2 or 3 days, I was getting more responses from everybody in the community. And many people were saying, you know, I saw an ear, nose, throat person. I take this, I don't even know. You probably know better than I do, but like there's a medication you can take to, or there's a more serious condition where vertigo is ongoing, that some people were responding about that. And yeah, my point is that I was extremely pleased and kind of surprised in that this actually could have been obviously just a symptom of some misalignment in my body and some manifestation of some stiffness and stress and all that. And the chiropractic approach was helpful.
Awesome. Well, I'm super glad that you've seen such good results and that we've been able to introduce you to the world of taking care of your spine. The spine is a powerful tool. It takes and communicates to every tissue, organ, and gland in the body. And when we break down, it breaks down differently for every individual. I want to thank you for allowing for us to be a part of your life and helping to get you back to being you again more of the time. I'm excited to see more of it as we continue to work on taking care of your spine and making sure that it supports you for how long? How long should your spine support you?
Forever.
forever, just like your teeth, right? We take care of our teeth every 6 months, but we forget about taking the part of our body we can't quite yet replace, the spine and the nervous system. You did a fantastic job. I want to congratulate you for investing in yourself, taking the time to do the work necessary to allow your body to work the best that it can, allowing us to be a part of it, and sharing this with your friends and your family as you've done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.